Well, I'm going to try one more thing with these units. I'm going to wash the boards and just see if the conductive electrolyte might be causing some problems. I suspect that it actually is. I'm pretty sure the capacitors are definitely shot in these units, but let's just go ahead and wash the boards real quick and just see what happens. Alright, well there's the first one, but I'm not going to wash the CCD imager because it's going to get water in it. But I will do some hand washing on this board, try to keep the imager dry and just see what happens. So let's go ahead and pull the second one apart now. There we go. Got it all apart. Let's go ahead and throw it in the dishwasher and run a full cycle. Alright, so there are the 4 boards out of the main part of the camcorder. Then over here in the silverware compartment, I have the 2 switch mode power supplies laying in here. I've got them marked with the model numbers on them, and I did etch the model numbers into the board with a sharp tip screwdriver as well. So, I got a load of dishes I need to run. So I'm just going to go ahead and use Pro Wash method with the high temp wash. And we'll check back in a couple hours. Alright, well I've got all the boards washed and ready to go back together. I just got to pop the shields back on them, try to power them up and see what happens. Okay, so I thought before I started putting these things back together, I'll just get the ESR meter out. So let's just go ahead and verify that we get 0 ohms. I'll set to 0. And let's just go ahead and check a couple of these caps on this board real quick and just see what they test like. This is a 47. I really want to see less than maybe 1.5 ohms on it. And I see 8.3 ohms. Definitely bad. Any other large caps? Over here, here is a 33. Probably a ohm or 2 is perfectly fine on this one. And I see 16 ohms. Terrible. Another 22 on this one. 8.6. It's better than that 33 was, that's for sure. And down here is a 47. 1 ohm. That one's great. Absolutely great. How about some of these 10s? 5 ohms. I'm perfectly fine with 5 ohms on a 10. 16 ohms. That's a bad one. 12 ohms. I'd want to replace that one. 2.1. I'm perfectly fine with 2.1 ohms. 0.17, 0.18. There's probably something across that one. Normally a 10 microfarad cap isn't going to have that low of a value. 30 ohms? No, that thing is definitely toast. So anyhow, that's just a quick sampling of some capacitors on this board. Let's go ahead and check one of the other boards now. So right off the bat, I'm going to go for this big 220 right here, right in the middle of the board. And I want to see probably a 0.5 ohm or less on this guy. And I'm not seeing anything at all. Am I even making contact? Yeah, I'm not even touching the leads. So that one is toast. What about the other board that has the same capacitor on it? So let's go ahead and check that capacitor, the other 220, and see what it reads. And see, I like that, 1.8 ohms. That one's perfectly fine. Here's a 47, 1 ohm or less, I'm good with that, and it reads 24 ohms. That is toast. Another 47, can't even read it. And another 47, I'm on there good, can't even read it. This 47, 80 ohms. That is terrible. Remember, this ESR tester only goes up to 99 ohms. Anything over that, it will not read. 82 ohms on that one. So I don't have high expectations. Remember, if you lower your expectations far enough, you'll never be disappointed. Okay, so I've got the CCD-FX620 reassembled. Power the unit on. And they do get a counter display. So the door is open. I actually can close the door. And it will close. I can reopen the door with the eject button. But if I go ahead and place a tape into it, it just reopens all by itself. So I'm going to close the door. I'll turn the unit off. And I'll put it back into camera mode now. And that's all she wrote. Nothing. It's doing the exact same thing. Let me zoom out and show you the displays. So there is just the power supply connected. So if I turn it on to the VTR or VCR mode, Sony calls it the VTR, I get a full battery. And if I switch it off, battery goes away. And if I switch it on to the camera mode, I get a battery display, full, and then 3/4, 1/2, 1/4, and then that's it. So now if I switch it back to off, it stays in that mode. Switch it to the VTR or VCR mode, same exact thing. No change whatsoever. So let's go ahead and check the CCD-FX425 and see if it may have had some kind of improvement. Okay, so here is the CCD-FX425, and as you can see, it has a vertical sync issue. Now it did this last time when it was cold, and I troubleshot it and spent some time on it, and it kind of straightened out, so it might actually straighten out. Incidentally, the FX620 did the exact same thing when it was powered up when it was cold. Had a vertical sync problem in the monitor, so I suspect probably some bad caps in the monitor as well. But same as before, if I close the door, listen closely. You hear a hissing sound. And then it doesn't want to load, doesn't want to do anything. So once again, switch mode power supply caps. I did check some of the caps off camera in the switch mode power supply, and they are toast as well. Well, unfortunately, I don't think these are going to be worth repair. I'm estimating between 4 and 6 hours of labor per camcorder to replace the 80 plus surface mount capacitors on all of the boards to get these things back up to like new specifications. It's just really not going to be worth it. It is not economically feasible to repair these camcorders. I'm sure somebody has one out there that actually plays tapes on eBay or Amazon somewhere that the customer can find for a much lower price. Anyhow, I was hoping, I took a shot in the dark, maybe cleaning the electrolyte off the boards would change some kind of symptom, but as you could tell from the few capacitors that I did test, they are totally toast. Anyhow, that's it. Part 2 of the CCD-FX620 and CCD-FX425 Sony camcorders. They're both a bust. Thank you for watching. Everybody have a great day. Bye-bye.